the Blackout Collective.
And what are your issues here? Why are you having this demonstration?
So we are holding a sacred space for dealing with stopping the war on Black people. That there has been a collective assault through education, through housing, through transportation, through access to wealth, through police murders. That there is an intensive and intentional war on Black people in this country, and we're calling to Oakland specifically. So West Oakland is a historically Black community, at least for the last 60 to 70 years has been predominantly Black, and over the last decade, it has significantly changed. Walking down the street, you notice it every day. Oakland in general, 20 years ago, Oakland had 47% Black people, and at this point we're at 27%. That's a huge jump in a matter of 2 decades.
And the speculators that are coming in here, who are driving people.
Yes, that they're coming in, they're buying property and not selling it at rates that are reasonable and upping it. As San Francisco has gotten more and more expensive, so has Oakland. And then West Oakland real specifically. There was a call about 10 years ago to try to bring 100,000 new residents to Oakland, and they've come and pushed us out.
And what do you plan to do about it?
So right now, we started at 12th and Mandela, holding sacred space for Black people, as Black people, and are calling on our ancestors here. So we're here in support of what's happening upstairs and making sure. So from what I was told, and I'm not necessarily a part of that, from what I was told is that there's a blockade upstairs and that they're stopping the BART trains are no longer able to run.
Isn't that going to affect business?
It is. So the idea, you know, it's Black Friday. It's to stop business as usual. So we organized this part. We wanted exactly to stop business. No going in and out of San Francisco today.
So they're saying it's going to affect people who work in these stores?
It might. And some people will be uncomfortable, and some people might lose some money, but we're losing lives. And that's way more important. So you're a little bit of uncomfortability and having to go to a different BART station or having to take the bus is nothing to see a body lay on the ground for 4.5 hours.
And this is happening locally?
Yes.
What does this have to do with Ferguson?
So it's in connection. We're doing this in support and just saying that there's no more. So there's a national call to boycott Black Friday. And in Oakland here, we're saying that business cannot go on. And we want to end the war on Black people.
And who's doing this?
I think that it happens in a lot of different ways. So it happens interpersonally with individuals. So individuals are the ones who pull bullets and who make decisions and who say no on lending prices and who buy houses and make sure people can't get in. The individuals are the ones that are in classrooms, but it's way more than that. It's also systemic. It's in the ways in which our society is organized. It's in the ways that we look at the historical oppression of Black people. So it's so many different ways. So it's not just the racist white person with the hood or a racist police officer. It's the ways in which our education system is set up, our transportation system is set up, our banking and loan system is set up. It's the way that police are trained and look at us like we're the enemy at all times. So it's systematic. Yes. We do. And there's also internalized racism. There are ways in which, so even if they're not internalized and there are people there who are fighting for the good of Black people, it's not enough. It takes lots of different ways that you have to work within a system and without a system in order to make changes. So I commend those who are in there, who are progressive politicians, really working for Black people in politics, but it's also our responsibility as those who are not elected to push.
Now, we have a Black president.
Yeah.
We have a Black attorney general.
We do.
Do you think anything has changed in America since they were elected?
I think that racism has gotten bolder. That's what I think.
You think racism has gotten worse?
Has gotten worse and bolder. If we look at the last 20 years and we take the last 8, with having President Obama and Eric Holder, then our potential new Attorney General, who's also potentially a Black woman, I think that people who are afraid, and white people in particular who are afraid of becoming the minority and afraid of what that means, have decided to step it up a little bit. And we're feeling those effects.
Now, this gentrification, is somebody benefiting from that?
I think that a lot of people benefit from it, right? The people who don't benefit are the people who used to live in these communities when nobody cared. But the people who are benefiting are new residents, are people who are coming in with their privilege and their money and are able to get police to show up in a way that we weren't able to get police to show up before, are able to get businesses to come to their neighborhood that would never have done that because of the color of their their skin, or because of how much money they have in their bank account.
And how would you change the economic system?
So, as an individual, I have ideas. As a collective, it's not something that we thought of right now. So, I want to answer for prefer an answer that way.
So this is going on all over the country.
It is.
It's not a new thing.
No, it
It's
isn't.
been happening for decades. What's going to stop it? You think this is going to stop
I think that what I think happens, so no, I don't think that one action stops it, but I think the continual pressure and pounding of pressure through actions, through legislation, through movements, through organizing, puts pressure and stops it. I think that things are able to change, but they only change when people demand it of them.
And what about other forces? Are the unions involved in this or other organizations?
In this today, no. We did something, we wanted as a group to do something for black people, by black people. So in Oakland it's a little different. I'm not exactly do not know the statistics offhand, so I'm not gonna go and quote something that I don't know. But I do know, as someone who works with young people in my day-to-day 9-to-5 job, that it's difficult. And it's difficult for people, in young people specifically in East Oakland and West Oakland, to be able to get jobs, to be able to see a way out of the poverty, to be able to see a way out of the schools that they're at. And there are wonderful people who work at those schools, but they're already come in stacked against them. They come in kindergarten with things stacked against them. So it's about being able to make sure that we change that.
So you feel that the black youth, young people, don't have a future? Is that what you're saying in this society?
Well, I would never say that we don't have a future. As a black person myself, I think that we have work. We have work to do. It's a different struggle and it's a different reality. So I think the future looks a lot of different ways. But do we think that it's going to the American dream that's set out, that's sold to us? Do I think that that's the reality for the majority of black people in this country? No. But as have a future, definitely. Wanted to come to the BART station and do it in West Oakland. One is because in Oakland this is the hotbed of gentrification and being pushed out, but also the BART has symbolic notice for Oakland in particular because Oscar Mayer was killed at Fruitvale. So we wanted to bring it to a BART station. I think it'll make them uncomfortable. I think it'll make people have conversations. I think it'll give them, even if it's just a dinner conversation, have something to talk about, be able to learn from each other, to grow from each other. Do I think that one action, I don't believe that one action will change things, but I do believe that collective action, and we are part of that collective, has the possibility to do that.